What's good, guys? This is the AZ Ninja Guy from Sierra Vista, Arizona, and you're watching Clutch First.
Brought to you by Ducati.
Any day you're whipping it around on this beautiful bike is a beautiful day, in my opinion. What's going on? What's good, guys? Mike is in the building, and you are now watching the Clutch First channel. Woo! I love that pool, man. Wait. Oh, you hear that pop? That's the one beauty about whipping it through winter. The bike sings. So much personality. You hear all the characteristics of the engine, the exhaust, the headers. Oh my goodness. You just hear all the pops. Woo! Kill them. All right, check this out. Check this out. You see that? You see that? Dropping speed. You see how it's jerking? You see how it's jerking? I get this question quite a bit. And it's been kind of like an ongoing thing. People ask me all the time, how do you ride your duck so smooth? And I'm like, I'm just real smooth, baby. Ask H, she'll tell you. I'm kidding. But I do get a lot of questions asking me, how do I ride the bike so smooth? And, you know, it feels very abrupt like this. Very Japanese-like. None of that Italian chugging that you get pretty much when you're riding an Italian bike. And believe it or not, that's part of the characteristic of the bike, guys. And it takes a little bit of work for you to know how to ride a Ducati. So by request and by people asking all the time, I decided, you know what the hell, I'm gonna make a video and explain how to ride a Ducati. Very smooth, very easy, and how you can actually get the bike to be easy. Now you see this, look. I'm not accelerating yet, but you see how choppy it is? It's kind of like jumping like, maybe the GoPro won't translate this very much, but if you're familiar with Ducatis and you've ever ridden one, you felt the choppiness of the throttle, and you feel how, see that? It's kind of like, for me to kind of show you on the camera, or unless you ride it yourself, it feels like this, like that. That's one of the things that most people will tell you. Even, you see when I'm accelerating, see, hear me? This is me accelerating now. You see how it's kind of like do. You feel that? So it's kind of super choppy. And there's a few ways of remedying these things. If you're interested in a Ducati, you want to have smoother gearing, where it's a lot easier on the rider. One option you can explore, you can definitely change your gearing. You can change your sprockets. The front sprocket, I think it's like you can bring down to 14, I think. I don't remember it specifically. I haven't done that on a Ducati in a while. What I've been doing, though, is ride my bike as is. I wouldn't say the better you ride, the better it will be, because you could be a good rider and still struggle riding a Ducati, because they could be very choppy. And you know what happens if you're choppy on the throttle. One, you can always loop your bike if you chop it while you're taking a corner, for example, what I'm taking right now. Right? I already committed to the turn. Throttle's fully open, and I'm just pulling through it. On the duck, for you to have that feel, either you downshift before you get into these corners, or you brake before, or once you commit, you're committed. If you let go of the throttle and then go back on it, it's gonna be almost like you're chopping it. The thing about a Ducati is very on and off. Some people love that, some people completely hate it, and some people feel like it makes the bike not an easy ride. So let's say if you're a starter, you're a beginner, people will tell you, hey, don't get this bike, it's not for a beginner. This is probably one of the reasons why they would tell you don't go towards the Ducati path, because there's a strong chance these mistakes can happen. I have the throttle open constantly right there. You have to have very steady hand, right? If I let go, look, if I just, you see that? You see that? That's that on and off. If you're not familiar with the twitchy throttle and know how to handle it, that could be detrimental to your ride, to yourself and the bike. And it takes a lot of practice, or at least getting very familiar with your bike to do it really well. Now, how do I remedy this? And I think a lot of seasoned riders, people that know how to ride really well, we're going to get into that, and I'm going to show you how to ride a Ducati really well. I'll probably end up making a part 2 of this if you guys really dig this video, because I would like to do it where it's summer, it's hot, and kind of really go ham on the throttle and kind of show you how to do it properly. Even me pulling off from stop, you see that? You feel that? Oh wait, I got to enjoy this one. That was for no apparent reason, just because. You see how it pulls me back? So back to what I was saying, if you're not familiar with it, what you could do to remedy the issue, if you're not a seasoned rider, you don't know how to ride really well or how to control yourself, I would recommend switching out your sprocket. But some of the downsides to switching out your sprocket is that sometimes your mileage gets thrown off and stuff like that, and sometimes you might lose your top speed or your bottom. It might change the way the characteristic of the bike, and this is why I do not touch mine. Now, how does Clutch First do it? How does Mike get in on the Ducati and get on and make it easy? Most people, you call it blending. If you ride a Japanese bike, you roll on the throttle, it puts in work, you know. It delivers power, but it delivers it in a manner where it's kind of climbing very nicely. On the Ducati, it's on and off, which, again, I said, you know, why it's like that and why does it feel that way, which is really nice for kind of taking like this, in my opinion. What I would recommend for any rider that's riding a Ducati or it's your first time into the Ducati game, get to know your clutch really, really, really well. Your friction zone and areas of where you can touch it. So where I'm going to insert some videos as I'm talking about this, guys, there'll be like examples as I'm taking really fast corners at 70, 80, or I'm going really, really low. You still see both my hands on the levers. It's because I'm throttling. Instead of me releasing my throttle or letting off the throttle, you could either do it in a few ways. You could brake before you get into the turn and then scoop right into it and exit out by accelerating out the corner. Now, this is no means by me saying I'm a professional at any of this. This is what works for me, and this is how I ride really well. At least my bike is written really well in that manner. It's subject to change. If you're in a Japanese bike, I know the delivery, the power delivery is very different. On my bike, speaking from my experience, so let's not take it like real personal. So when you're pulling into the corner, for example, if I'm switching, I'm dipping in, you're gonna see me hold my throttle steady. If I'm at 70 miles an hour, I'm gonna hold that pace. I'm not gonna freak out on the corner. I'm gonna hold that pace. And if I wanna smooth out and get like the real Japanese feel where the engine's very smooth, you're gonna see me working my clutch very closely. Sometimes in my videos, you will never notice this because it's being done so, I guess, normal. I do it so often that it's very normal how I'm working the clutch in. For example here, see that? I'm not giving full power to the bike as I'm pulling in the clutch here, and you see the choppiness. And this is one of the reasons why I get very impressed when I see people wheeling Ducatis, because they're very temperamental in the choppy department. If you're able to smoothly bring that up, really smooth, and then holding it smooth, your control on the throttle or the clutch is so amazing that is impressive to me. I've seen people wheelie Ducatis. If I want to smooth out the engine or speed control, I'm gonna go straight to my left. I'm going straight to my clutch. This basically smooth out how much power that's being delivered to the real wheel. Of course, you guys know that if you ride any bike, but this comes into really huge play in terms of, like, you know, full release. You chop it up. See that? Very easy. It'll pop up. But let's say if I kind of pull it slightly in and do that, See that? Slightly different, but it's still engaging though. You could feel it. If I pull it all the way and I do that, nothing. You want to be able to have a full understanding and being able to play with that throttle very well when you're hitting any corner at top speed or, you know, not at your normal. And even if you were to panic, if you're entering that corner a lot faster and you want to slow down, this is not your answer. The throttle is not going to be your answer. If you let go, don't touch it anymore. If you're in the corner, you're going in hot, and you realize, oh man, this is too much for me, and then you let go, just coast through it, man. I'd even say let the engine take over for it, do its own engine braking, or you can pull in your clutch and coast out the corner. That's one option. But if you let go, when you panic, you touch it again. Now, if you get on a Japanese bike, you let go of your throttle in the corner, you touch it again. If you're not touching it hard enough, it can still roll out the power on a smooth band. On here, no bueno. This is just kind of my rough explanation on how the Rider Ducati Real Smooth. I'll do another video in depth and kind of showing you how my hands work, how it's doing, because I'm working the throttle, I'm working the clutch and the rear brake before going into any kind of corner and just, you know, going hard in a corner. So it looks real smooth, but it takes a lot to get that much of a smooth hand and a lot of practice. So just a heads up. Guys, the older the Ducati you get, the harder it is to ride, because this was not refined before, you know. So you're looking at even choppier, or even the response is going to be very different. So keep that in mind. But if you were to buy a newer Ducati, they're a lot easier on the riding, but the downside is that those bikes, it feels like they're losing a lot of characteristics that people love about Ducati. If you're looking to get a Ducati for your first bike or something like that, even if you're getting a smaller one, get the newest bikes. They're a lot more refined. That thing moves, boy. See that? Also, it takes a lot to do this too. Keeping the bike running nice and slow and smooth like that. That takes practice to do. You get used to it though. I'm telling you, I feel like the tougher the bike is to ride, the better rider you become over time, because you have a very good understanding what to do and what not to do also. So if you're a Ducati rider in your city, any city, you might end up swapping out your clutch plate a little bit faster than the usual, only because you're constantly working it. If you have that smooth play, that's probably why you might see that people's clutches are slipping over time, because you're working the clutch so much to actually make the bike so smooth that it, you know, it's a little bit more. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you slap a thumbs up on this video. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what your experience with Ducati, if you've had any, and do you intend to get one in the future, and what is your thought about it? If anything, I'd say get the most current bike. That's a lot more easier to ride. But if you're looking for that heart, you know, the grittiness, you know, get yourself something, you know. Even my bike is a little bit more refined than the usual. You know, you start looking in your 09 and back, but then you could be running some issues also. So, but yeah, if you have yet to subscribe to this channel, of course, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys on the next one, man. Be easy out there. I'm gonna do it from the side so you can see. Place it kind of sideways so it fits. Rotate it and then it locks. Ooh, yeah. This baby talks nice. Ooh. Makes you feel some kind of special. Some kind of special.